Hello, Internet. It is Adam Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Licorice Pizza. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Movie is directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I know him and Paul W.S. Anderson, they get mixed up because it's Paul Anderson, but this is Thomas. The other one is W.S. Okay? Alright, now that we got that out of the way, this man has some clout. Sure, his movies haven't made too much money, but he has quite a bit of clout amongst, movie lovers. Particularly with his biggest hit, There Will Be Blood. He also did Punch Drunk Love, which made people realize, wow, Adam Sandler isn't a total goofball. He did that, did Magnolia, Boogie Nights, Master, Phantom Thread, Inherent Vice. Like, these movies haven't done great financially, but a lot of them were received really, really well by the people who did see him. And so he has a bit of a cult fan base here, a cult following, if you will. So I think that cult following, some of that should watch this. I mean, I imagine they will. So, yeah, I consider that a relative pro. I'll talk about the con side later, but that's a relative pro. The director has clout. So it's pro number one. Pro number two, it's had a limited opening since Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving weekend. And it's done quite well. It's made like over $1 million in just four theaters. Four theaters. In fact, its opening weekend per theater average was 86 million, something that hasn't been seen since 2019, since like Uncut Gems. So that's great. And yeah, again, making over $1 million in four theaters is quite impressive, especially in this day and age where like the art house is struggling to survive. So yeah, I think that's a good sign. Even though I'll talk about the con side of it, but yeah, I think it looks good. It gets the movie the right type of headlines. So yeah, I would consider that a pro. How its limited launch has gone. So that's a pro. Another pro is the release day. Christmas, big day for movies. Business explodes. That's just how it works. And yes, I don't know if this movie screams Christmas, but a lot of Christmas movies don't scream Christmas, and they still do fine. So yeah, I think the release date will benefit this movie than rather than hurt it. Even though it does have that 2 day opening, which annoys me, which I'll discuss when we get to the cons. But yeah, having your movie released on Christmas Day, usually not a bad thing. So that's a pro. Another pro, reviews are quite strong. Like, unlike many Oscar bait movies, this one actually has a chance to actually win some awards and maybe get a theatrical audience potentially. I don't know. But yeah, reviews are quite high for this movie, and yeah, like nothing more to say about that. I don't know about the audience score. I think it's high as well. I'm gonna have to check. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's high as well. It's at 90%. So good word of mouth, good reviews, perfect. So that's a pro. Another pro is that this movie has gotten quite a lot of advertising, a lot more than I expected. I've seen about like when it comes to ads for this movie, I've seen the ads for this movie match the amount I've seen for Spider-Man and The Matrix, which is quite insane considering Spider-Man and Matrix are like two big studio movies, and this isn't that. And the fact that I've seen as many ads for this as those really says a lot. I think that's kind of impressive. So it's got my attention. Like, I remember seeing like the trailer for this movie in front of, I think, No Time to Die when I watched that. And I think also in front of Dune, maybe. And it caught my eye. And I actually looked it up like online, to watch the whole thing again. And like that trailer hooked me. It legit hooked me to the point where I actually was thinking about watching the movie at some point. So yeah, like advertising is way stronger than expected. So I would consider that a pro. I think that's it. Cons. Not a director. Sure, he has clout, but his movies never really went anywhere financially. His biggest hit easily is There Will Be Blood. That's like his only real mainstream hit. The rest have done pretty weak in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, that's not good. Even though he does have a cult following. He's like Wes Anderson, where his movies, sure, he has a big cult following of fans, legions of fans, but unfortunately, that's all they really have, and like majority of people just don't pay attention. It sucks, but that's just how it is sometimes. So yeah, I think his hardcore fans will show up to see this. I don't know about anybody else though. So that's a con right there. The fact that his box office track record, Paul Thomas Anderson's track record financially isn't too great. So that's con number one. Con number two, the cast. They are recognizable. Some are. I know Bradley Cooper is, and Sean Penn. But our main two, I mean, I know Copper Hoffman is the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman. I know that, but they're not. They're fresh faces. Like they don't have like any. Obviously, they don't have any drawing power right now. But sometimes star power isn't important. Okay, there have been plenty of movies in the past where they have no name actors, and they still do fine. So maybe it might be one of those situations, but I think it's better to have a recognizable face than anything else. So yeah, I think the lack of big name talent besides Bradley Cooper, and even then, I've heard he's just an extended cameo. So I think that might hurt this movie a bit. So I'm gonna consider that a con. Another con, competition. Yikes. You gotta deal with Spider-Man and Matrix and Sing 2 and on the opening day, American Underdog and Journal for Jordan, and even Kingsman to a small extent. So that's a lot of movies. And will Licorice Pizza stand a chance? Will it, you know, carve out? So I don't know. I don't know what the phrasing. I don't know what I was trying to say. I lost my train of thought. But will it be able to stand out amongst the bunch? Like, can it? I don't know. We have to wait and see. But I don't know. His chances aren't too great right now. But again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, the competition is so brutal this year. So I'm gonna consider that an automatic pro. Like out of the gate, that's a pro. A con. God damn. I've done too many of these in such a short amount of time. I'm just I'm falling apart. So yeah, that's a con. Competition being vicious. So that's another con. Another con I could think of. Yeah, again, like I already mentioned this with Paul W. S. Not Paul W. God damn it, Paul Thomas Anderson. Like his movies aren't like super mainstream, and what's worse is that this is an adult drama, and nobody has watched those this year at all, except maybe for House of Gucci, and that's it. All the others have done terrible. They bombed horrifically at times. So, and some of those were from like bigger studios too, like Warner Brothers. They've had plenty of adult bombs. So, again, like I don't know about this movie if it's gonna survive because it's an adult drama. And again, they haven't done well at all this year, so that's a con against it. Another con is that when it comes to like a limited release going wide, one of two things will happen. Either it will do extremely well or it will outright tank. And we've seen plenty of examples of it doing extremely well, like say American Sniper, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Revenant, 1917. Those are just a few I can think of off the top of my head, at least the past few years. And we want to go further than that. Zero Dark 30, Lone Survivor. Is there anything else before that? I don't even remember. But those are like the ones that immediately come to mind for me. But again, not every movie can be like that. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. That had a great limited release, and it bombed horrifically when it went wide. And it sucks because I love that movie. It deserved better, and nobody watched the damn thing. So Licorice Pizza could have a similar fate where it could just tank when it goes wide. But again, we won't know anything until we see numbers, until we see those Christmas Day numbers, those day after Christmas Day numbers, and all that. But I mean, I guess the one good thing about this movie is I won't have any direct competition for a long, 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 long time after this, because January is quite pathetic. I think there's like the amount of movies come out in January is like less than double digits. It's dead. And what's better, there's no direct competition, so hooray. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but so the whole limited going wide thing, it's very iffy. It can go one of two ways. So it's like a pendulum. So I'm gonna consider that a con because, well, yeah, it's too unpredictable. Another thing, release date again. Christmas on Saturday, a movie opening on Saturday never happens ever. It only happens. It has only happened a few times this millennium, and all the other movies that did it were not this. Weren't even comparable to this. Like, what do we have? Fat Albert, Gulliver's Travels. Like, really? I'm gonna compare those to this? And yeah, those movies didn't do all that great to begin with. So that could be an omen. The whole Christmas on Saturday thing could be an omen for this movie. But then again, we won't know anything until we get numbers. But yeah, even though I did say Christmas is a big day, but on a Saturday, like it's weird. It's way too weird. So, and plus, having a 2 day weekend, you're pretty much eliminating that third day, which is gonna make the number look worse than it actually is. I mean, sure you got the next weekend, but yeah, like I don't know if that Saturday release is gonna work out too well. I don't know. Again, we'll see, but I don't know. The Saturday release is a con in my eyes. Even with Christmas, it's a bit of a con. So, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, opening weekend time for the 2 days, and also yeah, I forgot to mention this. Um, the theater count for this is quite small. It's like 750 theaters. It barely qualifies as wide. So I don't know if that's gonna help it at all. I mean, we've seen in the past, movies that don't even open super wide can still do well, but I don't know. I don't know. I think having less theaters might hurt his chances of bigger success. So that's a con. But yeah, anywho. So opening weekend, 2 day weekend. Oof. Christmas and the day after Christmas. I'm going to say 4 to 5 million for those 2 days. That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I'm sticking with. I think that's reasonable. So 4 to 5 million. Actually, you know what? 3 to 5 million. I'm gonna widen my range a little bit. 3 to 5 million for the 2 days, and it's total. God. uh. Oh man. 20, 30, 40 million, anywhere in that range. I don't even know. Which isn't great for a movie that costs $40 million, but could be worse. So yeah, that was Licorice Pizza. And then that's it for 2021. That's it. We made it. It's over. At least when it comes to movies coming out, it's over. So you won't be seeing me again doing one of these until the January 7th with the 355. And then you got Scream the next weekend. They got Redeeming Love. And I think The King's Daughter. I don't even know if that's going to be what. The weekend after that. And they got Morbius the end of January. And then, yeah, we just go on from there. So, yeah, you're obviously not going to be seeing any prediction videos next weekend because nothing's coming out. So, yeah. Uh, so yeah, look forward to those prediction videos later on down the line. But anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage with all previous prediction videos I made this year, all the adult dramas that tanked. Covered them all. So you want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. There's also, and oh yeah, eventually I guess when I start my 2022 recap videos, 2021 will be removed from the homepage because why would I have it when there's like a new year of movies? Like that's kind of dumb. So watch the playlist while it's on the homepage, but you'll be able to find it when you go like the playlist section on the channel. So it's not even that big of a deal. But yeah, if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made for this year, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Didn't cover Licorice Pizza once. But if you want to watch any of the past canceled episodes I made, the most recent one I did was about John Wick 4 getting delayed, which I saw coming several miles away, so I wasn't surprised about that. But if you want to watch any of the past canceled episodes, that way you're up to date on all these movies. There's now 98 episodes, so you got plenty to choose from. So if you want to watch any of those, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. December recap will come out the first week of January when we have like final numbers. But for the next few days and weeks, you're going to be seeing nothing but estimates. Okay? Nothing but estimates. So get used to seeing that. So once we get final numbers, like legit numbers, then I'll make a recap video. And also, I'm planning on doing a recap video of all of 2021, two-part. One part will be theatrical, the other part will be streaming, because the line was blurred so much this year. I think it will be quite an interesting discussion. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made, you can go right ahead. Particularly ones for this year, because my God, have things changed drastically. Like, beginning of the year, nothing. It was beyond dead. Now, it's just like COVID who, at least when it comes to box office. So, yeah, it's really strange. So, if you want to watch any of those recap videos, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.